December 1st, 1948. Dawn breaks over Somerton Beach in South Australia. The gentle waves of the Gulf St. Vincent wash ashore, revealing a figure lying motionless against the seawall. A man, impeccably dressed in a suit and tie, but with no wallet, no identification, and no name. He appeared to be simply sleeping, but the cold stillness of his body told a different story. This was the beginning of one of the most baffling and enduring mysteries of the 20th century. The case of the Somerton man. Police arrived to a small crowd of onlookers. The man was in his 40s, in peak physical condition, his hands clean, his shoes polished, despite having no hat and oddity for the era. An unlit cigarette rested on his collar. There were no signs of struggle, no obvious cause of death. The coroner would later note congestion in the brain and stomach, suggesting poison, but no trace was ever found. He was a ghost who had simply appeared on the beach, leaving behind a perfectly preserved, yet utterly anonymous corpse. The date was set, but the story was just beginning. Investigators were at a dead end until a hidden fob pocket was discovered sewn into the man's trousers. Inside was a tiny, tightly rolled scrap of paper. On it were 2 words, Tamám Shud. Every other clue seemed deliberately erased. The labels on his clothing had been meticulously cut off. A month later, a brown suitcase, believed to be his, was found at the Adelaide railway station. Inside were more clothes, all with their labels removed. There was a stencil kit for marking cargo, a sharpened knife, and a ball of orange thread not commercially available in Australia. The same thread used to repair a beer. Pocket in the Somerton man's trousers. He had planned to be a ghost, erasing every trace of his existence. The 2 words, Tamám Shud, were traced back to a rare edition of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, a collection of Persian poems. The phrase translates to, "It is ended," or "It is finished." It was the final phrase in the book. A nationwide appeal was launched to find the exact copy from which the scrap was torn. A man came forward, explaining that just after the body was found, he had discovered a copy of the Rubaiyat tossed into the back of his car, which had been parked near Somerton Beach. The last page was torn out, and the scrap was a perfect match. The case had just cracked wide open. But this discovery only deepened the enigma. In the back of the book, written in faint pencil, was a series of seemingly random letters. 5 lines of capital letters, with 1 line crossed out. It looked like a code. The world's best cryptographers from the military and intelligence agencies were called in. They analyzed the letters, looking for patterns, for ciphers, for any semblance of meaning. They tried every known method of decryption, but the code held its secrets. It was a cipher that seemed to defy all logic, a jumble of letters that has remained unbroken to this day. What message was so important that it had to be hidden in this unbreakable form? The nature of the mystery fueled intense speculation. Was this a simple suicide, a man ending his life with a cryptic, poetic flourish? Or was it something far more sinister? The post-war era was rife with paranoia. The Cold War was dawning, and Australia was a hub of intelligence activity. The idea of a clandestine spy, silenced by a fast-acting, untraceable poison, took hold. The meticulous removal of identifying marks, the unused train ticket, the unbreakable code, it all pointed to a world of espionage. Was he a secret agent who had been compromised? Was the code a final desperate message to his handlers? Was it murder, or a secret intelligence operation gone wrong? For over 70 years, the Somerton man remained nameless. His body was buried under a headstone that reads simply, "Here lies the unknown man who was found at Somerton Beach." The case went cold, the files gathering dust. But technology marches on. In a stunning modern breakthrough, researchers were granted permission to exhume the body. Using advanced DNA analysis on a few hairs trapped in the original plaster bust made of the man's head, they began the painstaking work of building a family tree. After decades of silence, Science was finally about to speak. In 2022, the world finally learned his name. The Somerton man was Carl Charles Webb, an electrical engineer and instrument maker from Melbourne. He was born in 1905. He was married, but had separated from his wife. But this long-awaited revelation brought more questions than answers. Why did he travel to Adelaide? Why did he conceal his identity so thoroughly? What was the meaning of the code? And most importantly, how did he die? Carl Webb's name gave the ghost a face, but the answers to his story remained missing, lost to time. For viewers who love deep mysteries and unsolved cases like this one, check out the product linked below. It's a fantastic way to dive even deeper into the world of historical enigmas. Your support helps keep this channel alive and allows us to continue uncovering these hidden truths. Every purchase makes a difference, and we're incredibly grateful for our community. In the end, we are left where we began, on a lonely beach at dawn. The mystery of Carl Webb is like footprints on the sand. For a moment, they are clear, a sign of a life that passed by. But then the tide comes in, the waves wash over the shore, and the prints are gone. The identity is known, but the story is not. Some secrets, it seems, are not meant to be solved. Some secrets choose to stay buried forever with the sea. Watch our full video episodes every Sunday right here on EerieDoseYT. We delve into real horror, real stories, real-life events that actually happened. This is EerieDoseYT. Like this video if you love hidden truths, and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an update. Comment with your theories below. What do you think the code meant? Thanks for watching.